Hello, hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Kerbel Space Program Day 5. My name's Mike. Really excited to have you here with me. I am going to take you through my attempt to pass the Munar signal and first dibs objectives. So I have them tracked here in Kerbal Space Program 2. I'm just gonna get going right away. Let's hop over to the vehicle assembly building. For those of you that don't play Kerbal Space Program 2 or are unaware of these objectives, the point is to get to the moon, land on the moon in a spot that, for one, is a place where there is a device that's emitting a signal, and two, we're supposed to land in what is effectively a crater. So a really important factor and something that I screwed up recently. Let me lower that camera. Also, check out my cat shirt. Very proud of it. Bought it in Mexico. Very important. You need to have a Kerbal in your vehicle. I had actually spent a bunch of time flying a vehicle to the Mun. I landed it properly, only to realize that it's not possible for me to plant a flag in a crater or approach a signal generator without a Kerbal on board. So let's make sure that we use one of these command pods. Don't use a probe. Don't be dumb. Don't be Mike. So let's get started. First, I'm going to build kind of the typical rocket that I like to build for getting myself to the Mun. In terms of trip plans, you can use the trip planner to tell you how far to go. So we need about 5,000 delta V. I've usually done it with less. I tell you to please keep in mind that the delta V calculations within Kerbal Space Program 2 as of, 2024 February, are terrible. They don't work. They are often very wrong. So sometimes you just got to know what you need to build and go with your gut. So I'm going to start with the swivel, and I know I will need at least a FLT 800 methalox fuel tank. So that's a combination of methane and oxygen. I will also want to add some aerodynamics, so let's add 6 stabilizers. Doesn't really matter. I don't think this is too important, but for me, I think it looks cool and I like it. Let's add some boosters as well. So I normally use, if we go to couplings, I normally use these TT38K radial decouplers. You can also get away with the extended radial decouplers, although you probably want to save those for longer boosters that you connect at the top and the bottom. So let's put on, I'm going to put on 2. The problem, you could put on 4, but your kind of full first rocket with all stages attached ends up going way too or very fast. Like you eclipse 600 meters per second below 10,000 meters, which normally is something you don't want to do. It makes it hard to get a nice circular orbit around Kerbal. So let's just go with 2 for now, and if we need more juice, we can up that to 4. Now I will tack on 2 of these hammer boosters. Those might have been slightly off center. There you go. Mine's snap mode. Yes, I am. And whenever you add these boosters, you want to go to your aerodynamics section and throw on some nose cones. All right, how are we looking? So if we have the engine, the tanks, the boosters, they're aerodynamically stable. Now, normally, if you don't need where are we? Communication, utility. You don't need a stabilizer, but I find it very useful because once you actually get to performing orbital maneuvers, like you're trying to move yourself from, you're in Earth's orbit and you want to project a maneuver out to the moon. Before you kind of fire up your engines to full throttle and move yourself and begin that maneuver, you want to orient your spacecraft. And one way to do that is with stabilizers. The other way, if you don't have a stabilizer, is to use kind of small little bursts from your main engine. But it does throw off your maneuver somewhat. So recommend a stabilizer. You want your stabilizer to be close to your center of mass. So my center of mass is going to continue to increase as I add this second stage. So I usually like to throw this right on top. Do I want my stabilizer to be a part of my... I mean, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw on a coupler. I'm going to then add my Terrier. Where are you? The classic Terrier engine. And then a fuel tank, just because that makes sense. You know, the fuel tank, I mean, I don't think this would work in practice. You'd want your fuel tank to be right beside your engine, but it's Kerbal Space Program. I do what I want. I am going to throw that, I'm losing my words here. That stabilizer close to the engine on my second stage. Again, you want it close to your center of mass. Let's have a look at center of thrust. That makes sense. Center of pressure. I've looked this up a few times. I've never fully understood why we have this giant pressure arrow that it only shows up when you add these fins. Yeah, if someone wants to explain that in the comments, get to her. All right, let's throw on a T400. So fuel tanks, T400, boop. Saw the center of mass go up there as expected. I'll keep that ball there just for fun. And now, last but not least, I think we can add, oh, hello. Here's Eclipse, she's back. Say hi to my kitty. Hello. Hello. Whenever I'm streaming, she seems to be very extroverted. So whatever y'all are doing, keep it up. She's normally the shy, quiet type. So engine, and now we are going to throw on the tin can with, let's select a Kerbal manager. Here you go. I don't know. Let's empty that. Who was the coolest name? Samamone. Handballed. Done. So we'll throw handballed in there. Other than that, last thing, we want some legs. Not sure where I'd find those. TBH. Coupling, no. Payload, maybe? No. Oh, ground. Hello. Do we care? I don't know. Let's just go with extra small. So if the engine is there, we'll probably want to put the legs here. Let's put 4 of them. What is going on? Did I put them the wrong way? So if I extend these. Okay, I think that looks fine. So the engine's here. One thing that I'm missing. Also, okay, so I'm missing a couple of things. One, if you were going to land back on Kerbal, you could put a parachute up here in the nose, but I'm just going to put an aerodynamic nose cone because we are landing on the Mun. So aerodynamics, nose cone. Wow, much larger than I thought it would be. Maybe we will throw a parachute and just not use it. Sure. Can you not? Nope, that one's not gonna fit. There you go. Okay, so now we have 2 fuel tanks, 2 engines. So, well, 4 engines, 2 central engines and then 2 boosters. Aero, coupling, utility pods, ground. I also want a radio because I don't think this command pod comes with one. Let's have a look here. Oh, it does have a data transmitter, so we actually don't need to add a radio. That, we may be good to go. This is usually where I, famous last words, I say that we're good to go, and then I forget something like an engine, or I have my my launch sequence in the wrong order. Let's move the bottom engine here. So the first stage engine should fire first, obviously, alongside the boosters, and then the second stage engine will move up here. The second stage engine can fire with the main decoupling action, which needs to happen after we decouple the radial decouplers. So first stage engine with boosters, decouple the first stage boosters, so we let just the main first stage engine fire, and then we will at some point decouple the second stage, and then fire that engine. If in terms of will those legs stay on, it looks like they will, and then at some point we can fire off the parachute. Don't really need to. So it says that we have a delta V of 2,214. I know that is absolutely wrong. We may not have enough juice to get to the moon, but we can sure try. Here we go. So again, reminder, the goal is to get to the moon, land at a certain point that I will show you in a bit. What is this? This is a new view? Cool. So let's go all the way down here. How far down can we go? Ugh. Where am I? Okay. Let's get out of there. What if I press home? Nope, it doesn't do anything. So home and VAB will reorient you to kind of the original position, whereas, so I'm gonna put that down. Whenever I have my OBS studio, I always look to see what I'm putting out onto the internets, but it's slightly distracting. So okay, the rocket standing on its by itself kind of looks ridiculous. I could have lowered these boosters. I could have also added a tower, but c'est la vie. So let's get going. Yeah, look at this, delta V 1,940. Apparently I won't even make orbit with this ship, let alone get to the Mun, but I will prove y'all wrong. Let's go. So first things first, I'm going to lower the throttle, let the boosters push our speed. Once I get to about 100 meters per second, let's say 1,000 meters, I'm going to slowly start tilting my rocket eastwards to allow for gravity-assisted orbital maneuver. Usually want to keep this at about 90 degrees. And keep a watchful eye on your boosters. They're roughly out, so now I'm going to drop them. I don't need to apply a lot of thrust at the moment, namely because those boosters got me going very fast. Normally when you're below 10,000 meters, you don't want to be going faster than 300 meters per second. You also want to keep a watchful eye on your apoapsis. Normally it should be, I think anywhere between 15 to 45 seconds is fine. There are a lot of rules of thumb out online. I mean, what's our major goal? Our major goal is to get ourselves into the Kerbin orbit, and then design our maneuver to get us to the Mun. Okay, so another thing to keep in mind is once you pass kind of like 25,000 meters, you are going to be experiencing a lot less drag. So if you notice your rocket is flipping quite a lot, you may be tilting a little too much, and what you can do is be a little more cautious with your heading. Don't tilt as much until you eclipse 25,000 meters, and then with the kind of absence of atmosphere, you will if you over tilt a little bit, you won't have a whole bunch of drag just rip your nose around on you. So 28 seconds, this is looking really good. We have 800 delta V, which should be more than enough to get us perhaps to a Kerbal, is it Kerbin or Kerbin, right? To a Kerbin orbit. If not, we can use a little bit from that second stage to do so. That's not a problem. Also, I'm aiming roughly for, I want to get to about 70,000 before I really fire, really fire the engines. So yeah, we're not going to get into Kerbin orbit with the first stage. We will need the second stage to do so. Anyway, I'm going to speed this up. So just always watching my apoapsis timer and my delta V. Once I get to about 100, I'm going to drop this back to 1. There I go. So I can tilt my nose over a little bit more. I should be following this green circle a little more reliably. Alright, so now I just dropped my first stage. My second stage has about 2,000 delta V. I am at about 52,000 apoapsis, 46,000 ground altitude. Again, we want to go to about 70, so I'm going to speed this up. How fast are we going? About 1,000 meters per second. That looks fine. So I'm going to speed this up till we get to about 70. Okay, maybe tilt my nose. Don't tilt my nose too much. So when you are in 3x speed, you always have to watch out for tilting your vehicle. Sometimes it can go absolutely wild. I almost recommend every time you want to press the A or D key, change the tilt of your spacecraft to go back into 1x speed before doing so. Okay, so we're at 9 seconds, so I'm going to tilt the nose up a little bit more. We don't want to be probably something like that. And I'll probably apply a little more thrust too. So speed this up. This may not have worked as intended. I'm running out. Yeah, see, I'm 3x, kind of borking myself. I could probably orbit with 64, and I'm running out of delta V, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to now tilt my spacecraft prograde and fire 100%, watching my periapsis and my delta V. Yeah, I am short on fuel this time around, so I might add a couple extra boosters. So delta V, I probably need about 600 to get to Mun and land, and I'm not going to have that by the time I make orbit here. So watching this. Delta V really struggling here. At least my periapsis is going to be positive very soon. There it goes, once I get past 50. Okay, there you go. So you know what, I'm just going to cut that engine for now. I've reached somewhat of a stable orbit. You can see I have quite a few spacecraft flying around. My periapsis is here, my apoapsis is here, so apoapsis being the highest distance, or highest ground altitude that my spacecraft will achieve in its current orbital trajectory, and periapsis being the lowest. And what we want to do, I'll just show you what the maneuver would look like. So I set the target to be the Mun. Wow, I really need to blow up some of these spacecraft. They're filling the page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a point on the opposite side of my current orbit from where I want to travel. So I'm going to create a maneuver plan here. See, yeah, this is very annoying. And I will increase the, oh yeah, there you go. So clearly I will not have enough delta V to make it to the Mun, so I'm going to have to tweak a few things on my craft. Let's go ahead and do that. So here, return to VAB, confirm revert. Let's check out the stream, everything looks healthy. Okay. I mean, if my thrust to weight ratio is 3 or like something far over 1.9, 1.8, I can also just go ahead and add an extra fuel tank to one of the stages. So let's first have a look at that. I suspect it's about 2.5. So 3.24, I have way more thrust to weight than I need. I'm curious, what does that look like when I take away the boosters? Just no thrust to weight, just 0. There are 0 boogs in this game, that's for sure. Nope, let's not do that. I mean, it does, to be fair. Look at all those boosters. To be fair, it's literally called a pre-release. So, and I myself am a developer, so no shade to our friends over at Kerbal Space Program. Thank you for your efforts. It is fun to poke fun. I'm sure that they, more than anybody else, is aware of that. Okay, so let's pull this up a little bit. I feel like nope, that's fine. So keep lowering these. I'm gonna need to get rid of this fin. The fin symmetric about, this one and its symmetric partner. Sure, let's select that fin. Let's go to 4. Let's place that there. Does that make sense? That looks fine. So weight, thrust to weight now is 2.325. Like, what is happening here? Precision maneuvering for docking. So vehicle's missing RCS. But I'm confused. I have a stabilizer. Can that not act as a reaction control system? I mean, I can add one. RCS. Fuel tank. There you go. Just do that. That's absurd. I genuinely have no idea what those will do, but it checks off a box on the engineer's report. Okay, so what to do? We're at 3,399. Do I just add another tank? Probably. Yeah, let's just pop on a 200 there. Done. That gets us to, yeah, I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. Well, why is this not down here? Yeah, 688 meters per second. Yeah, that makes sense. Here. The radial decouplers, engine, fires, we got that. So let's do 2 things. One, I'm going to add another T400 here. We'll just make sure the thrust to weight. I think that I have more confidence in the thrust to weight ratio. So maybe I shouldn't. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. I think this rocket will do it. Let's save it. I'm gonna call it. Ow! What are you doing? Evil cat. This is called Munar Signal, baby. Save. Sure. Launch. Okay, will this go? I don't know. Fire. Skip countdown. Throttle down. Let the boosters get me up to speed. Maybe throttle a little bit. Oh no, this is working fine. I will tilt a little bit. Oh, I love this swivel engine. The amount of control you have is fantastic. Shout out to whoever developed it. See, and since I have such a tall rocket, I really want to be careful about how much I tilt my nose over. The amount of drag that it will experience is quite a lot, and if I tilt it too far, I will very easily push my rocket into a spin. Okay, so continuing to ever slowly, oh god, don't do it. Ever slowly tilt the rocket. I am losing a little too much speed, but this is where we want to be. We want to be between 200 and 300 meters per second, below 10,000 meters. Although I am losing a little too much velocity, so I increased my thrust. Okay, I'm gonna go to like 67 here. No, I don't want to turn on sticky keys. Okay, that's fine. Still tilting. since I'm well below 20,000 meters, I'm being very cautious with my heading here. My speed's pretty good. I have 1,400 delta V. I guess I can move my ugly face up here. Studio mode. Let's do that. Go back here. I'm gonna pause this video just to make sure that my stream makes sense. Okay, so my face is moved. Let's keep going. So 26 seconds on my apoapsis, looking good. Going 265 meters per second, below 20,000. That's also good. Let's keep tilting this bad boy. Don't go too far. Doing great. Loving it. Loving it. Okay, 30 seconds. Oh god, I'm so nervous that I'm gonna send my vehicle into a spin. Close this studio. Okay. We have eclipsed 20,000 officially. I like our speed. We can probably pick it up a little bit, but let's stay on target. Eye on the prize, baby. Eye on the prize. 900 delta V remaining. Okay, so my apoapsis time has increased a little bit. I was at 30, I'm now at 40, so I'm going to tip my nose down to keep that stable. Yeah, it keeps going up, 42, 43. I really got to tilt my nose down now. 600 delta V. So let's have if you click on the velocities, you can see, if you click on the yellow box, you can change between orbital and surface velocity. So here, surface velocity 596, orbital is 765. Ground, and then you can switch between sea and ground altitudes, which is kind of cool. My apoapsis time is still increasing, so I need to tilt more. I think, rule of thumb, just follow the green circle. Don't be like me. I'm going to taper off my delta V. I'm going pretty fast now. Yeah, I really need to flatten out here. Okay. But I want to keep increasing my apoapsis. God darn it. So we'll keep firing. Keep firing. Just keep firing. Just keep firing. About to drop our first stage. And bye-bye. Okay. So we are firing at 63% throttle. Again, the goal is really to let's lean up a little bit here to get us to about 70,000. So I'm just gonna go to full throttle here. This is, come on. Not a fan right now. 7. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of where we are at. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to push us into prograde and fire fully. Let's try to push us into orbit. So we're watching our periapsis here. Ideally, it will hit about 60,000. Usually for my apoapsis, you want it to be between 70 and 80,000. 60 is a bit shy, but we are already running low on fuel. So the next step would be to go back to the VAB and add another 2 boosters, and that should get us where we need to go. Okay, so periapsis looking good. Delta V dropping faster than I'm comfortable with. We have almost hit our apoapsis, so now that we are going to start seeing a change in that number. Periapsis looking good. We can start slowing this down right about there. Okay. So we have almost a perfectly circular orbit. If I had stopped a little bit sooner, we would have been bang on. Pretty happy with that. I know most people like to aim for 70 to 80 kilometers. This is fine with me. Wonderful. Look how circular that bad boy is. All right, 1,439 delta V. I think we may be in business, folks. Create a maneuver plan, select this. Just look how busy this is. I'm sure some of you know that, oh, I can just destroy from here. We're doing it. All my hard work. Not, yeah, Yes? Okay. Much better. So we're going to increase this. Too far. Until we come into contact with the Mun sphere of influence. We want to aim well in front of the Mun. There you go. There you go. So 910 delta V. See if we can save ourselves some trouble here. So if I pull that back, I mean, we're still doing just fine. So 866 delta V, and we are coming within how far of the Mun? That would get us within 470 kilometers. We can get a little closer for the extra delta V. I think it's worth it. We will definitely be cutting it close once we reach the Mun. Go away. God, these things are so annoying. So let's add a little bit more juice. Keep the Mun in focus here. So here you go. So for 880, we get to within 200 kilometers. Let's get closer. Now where are we? We're at 148 kilometers. Ugh. Where am I now? I don't mind meeting it on that side. You know what? That's probably the best we'll do. I'm kind of aiming for diminishing returns here. Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind. God, this is annoying. Okay, come to this side. Come on. There it is. There it is. 16 kilometers. Beautiful. Done. Now we speed up. Oh, it's here in 15 seconds. Look at that. So I need to prepare for burn-in. Press maneuver. Oh, we're already in position. It's just meant to be. Meant to be, folks, okay? So, fire. So I'm now pushing my engines 100%. We are going to perform a 45-second burn, roughly, keeping a close eye on our actual orbit, which is this blue circle. Speed that up. Once it gets to 6. Okay. And then we need to press the X on time. There it is. Oh, we're good. Well done, folks. With that out of the way, I am quite satisfied, and I think we can warp ourselves all the way here. Let's have a look at the vehicle. Where are we? Oh, there we are. I got chills. Absolute chills. Let's look behind us. There it is. The sun. I don't know what they call it in Kerbal. Kerbin. Okay. Now that we are on the correct kind of orbit or orbital trajectory, sure, vehicle trajectory, I'm going to kill that maneuver, go back to map view, and start planning our next action item. So I told you earlier that I would point you towards the Munar signal. That is this yellow beacon down here. I swear I just saw it. There it is. I don't know. I'm not crazy, right? That's a beacon. I'm pretty darn sure that's the beacon. So we want to land there. First things first, let's get into an orbit. So we will create a maneuver plan, slow ourselves way the heckin' down. Yoink. Ooh, yeah, we're really pressing it. We are really, 572 delta V and 424 is required to get us into an orbit with a periapsis of 5,000 meters on the Mun. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Here's to hoping. If we don't make it, you'll watch a grown man cry. And I'm sure many of you sick, twisted bastards are fine with that. Okay. Looking good. 36 seconds. Let's put ourselves into the correct orientation. Again, this is something that is, we're able to do this because of that stabilization system that we threw on. If not, we would have had to have used our main engine to orient ourselves, and that does affect your maneuver somewhat. It just makes things annoying. Okay. So we are bypassing the moon. Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. 3, 2, 1. Fire. Maybe we should probably be in a different view, but this just looks too cool. Again, chills. Absolute chills. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, where are we? Here is our orbit. I'm going to kill a bunch of these crafts. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Oh, look how circular that orbit is. Very proud. Alright. And we can kill this. So, we are currently slated to land on the wrong side of the Mun, and we have 150 delta V left. Let's create a maneuver. So we'd speed ourselves up a little bit. Nope, not that much. God, this is going to be tricky. That's 35. Goodness gracious me. I think we need to figure out exactly what the game plan is here. I think we'll be able to play around with our kind of the starting position of the maneuver enough to land ourselves where we want to. So here we go. What are you doing? Give ourselves this is not easy. What if we move this? What the hell is going on? Okay, so the later we start our maneuver, we're really cutting it close. That's all I can say. So let's maybe get ourselves, sweet baby Jesus. Let's just put ourselves in prograde and fire the engines a little bit, eh? Let's have a look. That's looking fine. No need to plan a maneuver right now. Let's just fire the engines and watch. Again, the target's that yellow dot right there. So, there you go. We are not going to crash anymore, which is real lovely. We have 131 delta V left. Woof, woof, woof. Create a maneuver plan. Let's pull that down until... What this will do, this will at least allow us to decide where to start our maneuver from, you know? Let's change to this view, pull this around. Why? Ugh. Who said space flight was easy, you know? Maybe we'll start from a little... Usually you want to start an orbital, like a maneuver on the opposite side, but here we're kind of starting only 90 degrees away. And that looks alright. So we are aiming slightly past our point. We can also change the, let's say latitude of our orientation so that we cross right over that point. Come on. Keep pointing up. Pull this back slightly. No, not that one. Pull this back slightly more. Whoop. That's looking alright. Again, up a little more. Keep going up, 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 up. Pull this. No. There you go. You get it. You got it. There you go. Okay, that's pretty much perfect. I don't think we're gonna get better than that. So that's a 3-second burn, 88. Yeah, we are totally not gonna make this in 18 minutes. So let's speed things up. Put ourselves in the right orientation. With 30 seconds to spare. Okay. 42 minutes of stream. Goodness. What is happening to me? 30 seconds. Ready for burn. What time is it? Oh goodness, it's time for bed. Whether this works or it doesn't work, I want to thank you for tuning in. I appreciate any and all support. If you do want to support me, subscribe. I would love to get to the 500 subscribers required to put me into the monetization category. And then obviously likes and comments help out a lot as well. Support local. All right, firing. 2. I'll fire a little more. A little bit more. There it is. Done. 49 left. Oh goodness. So we are just going to pass over. I guess another thing I could have done is I could have just focused on landing and walked my my little guy over to the Munar signal. That also would have been a viable option. I'm not sure how much Delta V it's going to cost me to land, to be honest. This will be interesting. All right, so let's go to switch to vehicle view. We will point normal. Just because it looks cool, not because that's how we are actually going to land. If we have a look at our surface velocity, we are currently traveling 545 meters per second, kind of horizontal or parallel to the surface. Target velocity, very, same deal. Our altitude is slowly decreasing. How long till crash? It looks like we have 16 minutes. Yes. I assume a parachute would not be useful on the Mun. I mean, it doesn't really have an atmosphere, so what is it? What is creating the drag that we typically expect parachutes to help parachutes work? Okay, so we are going to time warp a little bit, get ourselves closer to that point. Goodness, where are we? Come on. All right, I will put the craft in retrograde. Oh, it takes so long. The nerves. If you have any ideas to, ideas as to what you would want to see me do, what you would want to see me talk about, I am a full-time aerospace developer. I write satellite software for a living. I design satellite, kind of like payload architecture, hardware, software, whatever you name it. So if anybody wants me to, I was thinking maybe I could do a demo, write some code. This is what flight software looks like. This is why you would make this design decision, build out your architecture this way. I also would love to start doing and working on projects. So if someone wants to see me, I don't know, 3D print a satellite model and maybe build out some of the inner mechanics and on a small scale, I could do that. Yeah, any and all thoughts, comments, throw them down there. All right, we are tuning in now to what is the crash landing site. I need to be very judicious with my, goodness. Okay, now I need to slow down this time warp. We are going to need to slow this surface velocity down. There's no way. There's no chance I'm going to be able to do this with the engines, so I'm going to just pop the parachute. Didn't do shit. Yeah, I'm fucked. Ooh, that's so disappointing. No. This hurts so much. I'm right there and I can't. Oh my god. This hurts so much. I literally just watched it fly by. I just did a flyby of my objective. I was right there. Chat, we were right there. You know what, we're gonna call it there. That's the end of the stream. Thank you for sticking around. I'm gonna go shed many a tear. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we will come back to this problem at a later date. Bye-bye. Where's my transition? Now bye. Nope. Was not on waiting. Now bye.